Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to my Rabies Baby build. It's a vampiric magic templar. This patch, these things are just beyond ridiculously powerful. We got a lot to go over with skills and adjustments that you guys can make to kind of make this build your own. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first skill we're going to start off with is structured entropy. The reason why I'm going to take a second to go over this is because you can kind of change this to work in the way that you want it to. So, if you want to have more damage and keep that 10-second duration, then you do not put points into this passive that extends the duration. Because it will extend the duration, but the total amount of damage isn't going to increase. So you're effectively making each tick weaker. However, you can take these passives if you want to extend the duration to get extra ticks of healing. And with that, one of the reasons why this is so powerful, this patch, just isn't the fact that it's a great dot, but it's a great heal. Especially when I can go ahead and put it on one target, still be getting the ticks from it, dot up this target, that target. When you go into, let's say, a keep, where there's a lot of siege and a lot of resistance at the breach, you can literally dot up as many enemies as they have up on the wall, and that it's defending that, and have just this huge influx of healing ticking as you push your way through. So it's a great way to use this maneuver to be able to keep up your healing when you're getting outnumbered, just any time that you're wanting to cross a breach. It's a really powerful move beyond just the fact that you're using it as an attack dot or to get your major sorcery off of it as well. Now, second move is a flex spot. So if you're going to be 1vxing and a lot of solo on this build, then you can use this to go ahead and help sustain your resources as you get your kills. However, I prefer the Vampire's Bane, just for the simple fact it does have a direct damage right off the bat with the dot, but it also gives us the major prophecy for our skill rating. So that's something I don't have to run on a potion, allows me to go ahead and run unstoppable potions. So I prefer this move. Next is Ellie Drain. Getting the major breach is great for helping us DPS somebody down, but that minor magic steal is also a huge thing for our sustain this patch. Because of our dots, we can go ahead, dot up a couple enemies, have our attacks on each one that are ticking every second to get us that minor magic steal, even if we're engaged with somebody else that we haven't gotten the breach on. So it's a great way to help us keep our magic up. And of course, Magplar, it's just ridiculous with puncturing sweeps to be able to deal the damage, to go ahead and get our heal off of it. Plus we're a high elf, so we're taking 5% less damage while we're doing this. Toppling charge is obviously after we dot a guy up, it's our first direct attack towards them. We get that stun and then set them off balance to get that increase through our champion points to get an extra 10% damage on them. Crescent Sweep, it's a great move and cheap. You can cast this several times during a fight if it's a sustained fight. It's a really good burst to be able to toppling charge in on them, get that off balance, and hit them with this. Now, we are also using Vampire's Bane to keep up our minor sorcery. So with this build, we're getting major sorcery, minor sorcery, plus 10% from off balance. That's a lot of buff that's going into our attacks. Back bar. Aldi is going to be Spell Wall. Our extended ritual for our heal and cleanse. Channeled focus to keep up, again, that magic recovery. Elusive mist. Our honored dead. We're going with this more because of the restoring the abilities cost when we're healing ourselves at low health. Help us stay in the fight. And Living Dark, which is just really good this patch. To be able to immobilize the people that are attacking us every half second and healing ourselves off of it is just great. It really helps us to be able to hit the Living Dark and then misform to kite to get around a corner to get away. Another little trick with this, pop your bubble and mislook. Now they can no longer see that you have Living Dark up, but it's still immobilizing them as you're getting away. The other part to this is when you're in mist form, you can actually cast your next ability. It won't fire off until mist form ends. So, if you need to get away, you pop those to immobilize, go ahead and hit your Honor Dead, and then it'll auto cast as soon as you come out. Alright, for the actual gear on the build, we're starting out with Crafty, Lightning Staff on the front bar with that weapon damage enchant, and we're running it in Sharpened. There's actually a quest to get this staff, so it's really easy to farm and get. Back bar, we're going to run our sword in Defending and play some double dot poisons or any type of slow poisons that you want to put on there will be fine. Our shield, we go ahead and put in pin. Now for the monster set, there's a few different options here. When I'm solo or small grouping, I really like Pirate Skeleton in this patch. There's just so many dots and so many things hitting us and ticking on us that this is procced constantly. So I really like it. However, if you want to run a 1-in-1 with the physical and spell resistance on each one to have a steadier defense, then that's fine. That's a great way to do it also. It'll take you up to like 34,000 spell resistance on your back bar, 30,000 physical resistance. So it's a great way to stay a consistent and even defense. Now we're also combining it with Bright Throats. And as you can see, I'm running the Prismatic Defense enchant on all three big pieces. Everything is in Impenetrable. Jewelry is all infused with spell damage glyphs. Now, if you are going to be in a larger group or you have a really good healer with you that you trust, then go ahead and switch out your defensive monster sets and run Valscoria. All the dots that we're doing will have this proccing constantly, and it's a really good way to add some extra burst, get a little bit more extra health to help yourself stay alive. As far as the food that we run on this build, that's really up to you what you want. If you want the extra recovery, then run Witch Mothers. If you want the extra health and max magicka, run the Bloody Mara. I prefer the spring-loaded myself because I want the extra stamina to be able to block a little bit more on the back bar, dodge roll, things of that nature. For me, I have plenty of sustain with all the passive sustain that we get, and the extra is like 524 or something through our skills. So for me, I don't run the Witch Mothers, I stay with the spring loaded. The standard Essence of Immovability pot is going to be our main pot. Restore our health, restore our magicka, the increase on the regen for those with the immune to knockback, and also keep a Essence of Detection pot slotted to help us with the Night Blades. As I said earlier, we are a high elf. Get that little bit of extra recovery, the increased max magic, and the extra spell damage. Being able to take that 5% less while we're channeling and jabsing is really nice, combined with the fact that we are 30,000 resistance on a light armor build. So when we switch over to our attack bar, we're dropping down to like 26,000 spell resistance. So getting that 5% damage reduction while we're jabsing helps out a lot. Running the Apprentice for our Mundstone. For our champion points, we have 37 into Warlord. I don't run my break free quite as high on this because we do have the Elusive Mist, which will get us out of our CCs. 37 into Tenacity, 56 into Arcanist, 43 into Mooncalf, 51 into Shadow Ward, 37 into Tumbling, 9 into Befowl, 51 into Elfborn, 49 into Elemental Expert, 33 into Spell Erosion, 56 into Master of Arms, and 81 into Thaumaturge. We definitely want that Exploiter passive since our toppling charge is going to put enemies off balanced. 51 into Ironclad, 34 into Spell Shield, 56 into Resistant, 35 into Light Armor, 20 into Thick Skin, 37 and 37 for Hardy and Elemental Defender. And that'll do it for the champion points. Alright guys, I really hope that you end up enjoying and getting a lot of play out of this build. To be able to have a light armor character that's this survivable, that can turn around and burst this patch the way this one can, is really good at this point. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and thank you guys for watching the video. If you're any questions or anything that I can help out with, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you guys like the build, feel free to subscribe and see the future content and future builds that are coming out.